Well, hello and welcome to my video on how I am going to renovate this very orange pine console table that I picked up on Facebook Marketplace for £50. I am very keen to create a whitewashed look. I saw one online I liked, it was £1,500, so I decided to have a go myself. I'm going to use the oven cleaner hack. This is it before, it was very orange, very sticky, very thick, so let's get started. Welcome to my renovation of this very beautiful pine console table. Now I've done my best to get my gazebo up, but it's a bit difficult on your own, but it's solid. It's keeping the rain off because it's raining for like the next 2 weeks. So I thought, I know, put this up to give it a bit of protection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the oven cleaning method, which is this. Now I've already done it once before on some pine and it worked out really well, so I'm going to do it again. So basically I'm going to spray it on, leave it for about half an hour, then you can use wire wool. I used a metal brush so I can't use wire wool, and then give it a light scrubbing and then you hose it. We are in the middle, believe it or not, a hose pipe ban, so I will use watering cans to wash it off. Can't quite believe we are still, but anyway, so I'm going to start now. I've covered it, smothered it. One can does the whole lot, and now I'm going to leave it to dry for about, I'm going to leave it for about an hour. Then what I'll do is I'll come out with my wire brush. You can use wire wool, but I can't handle wire wool, too rough for me, and I'll give it a good old scrub down and then I'll hose it. So I will come back in 1 hour. Now I'm going to scrape it all off, and I would pick the day where next door are putting fencing up in the field. So excuse the noise, but I'm going to use my brush. Yeah, I would say when you're spraying it on, gloves, stuff is acrid, and don't wear any clothes that you think are going to get ruined in case it sprays. Give it a good old scrubbing with this. So you can see, it's really lifted it off. A good old scrub round, and then give it a rinse and wash if you can. Right, so I've given it a good old scrubbing with my wire brush. Then what I'll do is I'll take it in, and that's when I'll let it really dry out properly, and that's when I can see how the colour's turning out, whether it's removed the yellow or not. Not sure it will. I think this is quite well varnished. But then I have step 2. Brought it inside because it's about to rain again, and I've just with some kitchen roll taken off a little bit of the wet and a little bit more of the kitchen stuff cleaner, oven cleaner, I can't even speak. So I have just with a watering can watered it down to rinse it all off. I didn't use a hose, promise. So I'm going to bring it in to dry so it dries a bit quicker because it is a bit cold and all about, so hopefully the heat in here will dry it, and then we'll see what colour it is. Hopefully it will dry really, really light. We will see. I have a couple of options, so I'll leave it to dry. Let's fast forward 5 hours. So it's a little bit more than 5 hours. It's the following morning and it is now fully dry. and you can see how much it has lifted off the varnish. Now I've got two options now. One, I could just do the process again, because some pieces of furniture have got a lot of thicker varnish, so you do have to do it a couple of times. So if I put it on again, it would really lift it again. It's come off really nicely sort of down here, but it's still quite thick here. But that was because it was quite windy, so sometimes when you do it and it's windy, it just blows off. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sand it with my little sander which is here. So I'm going to have a bit of a go with this. This is a really cheap one. I'll link this one below. It came with absolutely loads of these pads. So everything I've sanded, I've never needed to buy more pads yet. This will clip into the Hetty, so the dust gets sucked out. So I'm actually going to give it a bit of a sand down and see how that then happens. And then I could do it the process again when I've sanded it down, but I'm going to try something else. I want to see how light it comes when I start sanding it, because there is an option to put some bleach on it. So I'm going to give it a bit of a sand and see how I get on. Okay, so I've given it a sand. Really easy because you put the stripper on it, it literally lifts off. I've still got a wet patch there, which is annoying. I've sanded all the way. Now I'm actually going to be using, this is the front. I think it looks more expensive without the drawers. So I've sanded it down, it comes off super easy. It literally took me 5 minutes. It would have been a lot more difficult without the cooker cleaner on. So I'm going to keep going, do the bottom bit, and then I'm going to try my next technique, or I'm going to try the next stage. So I'm going to keep sanding, and then I will show you what I'm going to do. Okay, quick sand down. I've fallen in love with it, I really have. But I've got that thing where you drill roads with those machines, your hand goes, so I've got vibrating hands, so I've stopped now. But absolutely so much easier when you've used the cooker cleaner to lift it off. It just literally falls away. I probably could have done it with manual sandpaper, but this is still a little dry bit there, so I've got to wait for that to dry. But I am loving it. Definitely going to have this as the front as opposed to the drawers. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to wait for that little bit there to dry. What I will also say is you'll notice it has this almost pinky tinge. It's definitely removed the orange, but it does have this pinky tinge, which is fine if that's the look you want. But for me, I want it to be much more bleached. I want it to be much lighter. So the next stage I'm going to do, like here, it's a natural wood. So that's the colour that's been completely sanded down. Let me let it dry and just do that end bit. But I really want to take out this dark pinky colour. The sun has come out, so I am now going to do the second part, which is bleaching. Now the bleaching I'm going to use is just household bleach, and what it will do, I'll do it a bit of a white first, and this has dried a bit now. Okay, so now the sun's out, I'm going to be using some bleach. This is just normal household bleach. And I'm going to paint it on the top. I'm going to just pop some paint, just do it as if it's paint, and paint it on the top. Just like that. So I'm going to do the whole thing. Okay, so I have given it a coat of the bleach, and now the sun's sort of come out. It's going to come around that corner in a minute, so hopefully accelerate the bleaching process. I've just very, very liberally put it on, and then we'll see how that dries down. It's now drying in. Hopefully that will help take a little bit of the orange out, so I'll let you know. Okay, so it's now outside, drying in the sun. The sun is just coming around the corner behind a tree, so it's gonna, you definitely need the sun shining on it and the bleach is on. So we'll leave it here and see if it takes some of the red out. So it's the morning, and I did my little sample last night, and I am very happy with it. So I'm going to continue this morning with this very watery paint, and I do a mix of about 10 parts water to 1 part paint. Super, super watery. Be very careful, it splashes everywhere, and I find it easy to put on with a brush. So I'm just going to do little sections and then immediately rub it down with a tea towel. So I'm going to get on with that right now. So about 4 layers of paint later, I've got to the colour that I like. I have gone quite white, but that's the colour I want because I think it works well with the decor in my house. So you basically just have to put on as much as you want. So now I'm going to use a wax to seal it. I've used this before, it's super easy. You can just use a rag or some kitchen paper, and this is the clear, I'll link it below. And you literally just put it on quite liberally, cover it, leave it a couple of minutes, and then buff it down, and it gives a super simple finish. So I'm going to get on with that now. Let's just remember what this looked like before I started. Very orange, very sticky, and not really the colour that I wanted on look. So after a couple of days of work, didn't take that long really.
It's solid.
I'm going to show you what it now
it's raining
looks
for like the next
and
2
I am
weeks. So
super pleased with it.
put this up.
So here we go. It is finished, and here it is. I am delighted with it. I did go quite heavy on the whitewash purely because of the colour of the floor, and I didn't want to sort of have too many different contrasting woods, so I went quite heavy with it. So I put 2 coats on, and then I used the lovely wax over the top. So the lovely wax, actually, when you put it on with the cloth reasonably thickly. It's lovely and soft, beautiful soft finish. And I deliberately turned it around and put the drawers around the back because I felt this made it look a little bit more expensive. I've left lots of detail on here, so I just didn't sort of rub down as much, but I quite like the detail to pop out on the legs. And Minnie is just walking past. So that is it. So really simple way to do this. If I hadn't have done the oven cleaner spray and then the bleach, it wouldn't have come anywhere near this colour, but I'm super pleased with it. Please let me know in the description box below if you have a go with the oven cleaning hack, and I am so pleased. The next video I'm going to do is how to style this for Christmas. I did sneak a few of the little bells on, but I'm going to make it Christmas very soon because it's nearly mid-November, so not long now. But I really like my flowers, everything that I've got on here. If I can find it online, I will link below all these little bits. My bargain designer dupe candle, $14.99, I'll link that. I will add a link below a few of the bits I did buy from America and brought back with me, mainly that and the basket at Studio McGee. So if you're in America, you're very lucky, you can go to Target and get all this stuff. So there is the finished console table. I couldn't be more happy with it, and I hope you found that tutorial super easy. If you enjoyed that, please do hit the like button and hit subscribe, because I'm just about to do my next bit of furniture with the oven cleaning hack. So I will see you on the next video, and thank you for watching.